Sparkles! Today I'm going to not just make one, but two dolls in one video. Reason for that is because Rosie from Tenny Tinkers reached out to me and sent me two of her holo dolls that are available for pre-order right now. So I will be customizing both and will send one back to her fully customized. The other I'm allowed to keep. So thank you so much, Rosie, for sending me the doll. Before we get started, however, please make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe and hit the little bell notification. Let's hope that YouTube's algorithm recognizes that I uploaded. And now, without further ado, let's make some space girlfriends. Alright, let's start by unboxing the two dolls that Rosie sent me. They come in these soft padded zipped pillow bags. I really love the idea of those soft pillowcases. Here we have one of Rosie's holos in the skin tone Wisp. She comes with a certificate and some cute cards. Let's see the second one. This is the one that I chose to keep. She's the same sculpt in the color Willow. I love the skin tone so much. The dolls are about 40 cm tall and have such cute ears. I love how unique they look and can't wait to customize them. Unfortunately, on the first doll some fingers broke because apparently the post likes to throw packages, as we know. Rosie told me she will wrap the dolls more secure after the pre-order to prevent this from happening again though. Luckily, this is an easy fix with some super glue. Good as new. I love that the dolls have very strong legs, so you can easily make them stand even without a doll stand. They will be available for pre-order until the 30th of June, so if you love them as much as me, you can find the link to Rosie's Tenny Tinkers YouTube channel, Instagram and shop in the description box below. There's also a human girl called Soda Pop on the same body available. Thank you so much, Rosie, for the opportunity of this collab. But since there's double the work for this project, let's start the process. First off, let's make the outfit pieces for my own holo. I first wanted to give her a white velvet mini dress with a cutout on the upper chest, so I cut out the front side pieces for the dress and hemmed them together finished sides in. After that was done, I take the upper body piece and hem the back side pieces to it also finished sides in. Here you can see that I already stitched together the front and back pieces to create the little cutout and will now attach the collar that I already hemmed on top, finished sides to the neckline and also close the side and back seams. The dress now magically turned purple because I found the white dress to be too plain and made the dress the same way as the white one, just from this purple metallic fabric. I like this so much more. Alright, let's make a jacket for my holo. I first clean up the collar for the jacket by gluing around the upper seam allowance. After successfully doing so, I join the middle of the collar with the middle of the jacket neckline, finished sides in and sew it on. That looks neat! Now I'm already cleaning up the front seam of the jacket by gluing it around. And then it's time to join the sleeves with the bodice of the jacket finished sides in. Awesome! I also clean the seams of the sleeves up by gluing them around. And then it's time for the fun part. Not really. I decided to make a bunch of iridescent sequins by ironing some fabric vinyl onto white fabric and then cutting them all out by hand. This is about half of them after an hour of cutting. To change things up, I decided to already sew the first sequins onto the jacket. I will be using some iridescent thread and sew them on by hand. Whew, a lot of work. I don't know why I thought this was a brilliant idea, even though I had much more work with making two dolls already, but oh well, here we go. I always sew on each sequin with 2 stitches. That secures them enough, but they still have a bit of room to move around, which I like. Alright, let's skip forward about 6 hours later and it looks like this. I haven't stitched sequins onto the back of the jacket yet. Instead, I decided to first sew together the side and sleeve seams of the jacket finished sides in, because I figured it would be easier to turn it inside out than with the additional sequins on the back. And then I added some really big sequins onto the back and I think it just looks incredibly cool. Last but not least, I will bedazzle the collar with iridescent rhinestones because the jacket isn't already shiny enough, but hey, the collar is definitely missing something. And yep, this way the jacket is done and I'm living for this look. It almost looks like a butterfly wing up close or raindrops. It's so cool. Okay, Okay, so surprisingly I got a huge package in the post today. Turns out Elegoo sent me their Saturn II printer that was just released in the end of May. Let's unbox this giant. Okay. Ich wünschte, ich hätte ein Messer. Oh my goodness, it's huge. I need help of a strong human being. Oh my god! That is a big one. Sheesh. Ooh. Okay, I just unhooked one of my Mars printers so you can see the actual difference between those two. This is so small compared to this. Okay, let's try out this big printer. I'm super excited. First, I'm going to install the build plate on the printer and attach the air purifier to it. The Saturn II printer has 2.5 times the size of the Mars printer, which is incredible. It's now available for pre-sale for a really good deal, so if you're interested in owning a 3D printer, you can find the link from Elegoo in the description box below. I will try printing with translucent resin and dab in a few drops of purple pigment to prevent yellowing. And then it's time to set the lid onto the printer and press the start button to get the print going. And keep our fingers crossed that the translucent resin will cooperate. A couple hours later, the print is done and it seems everything almost printed fine. Looks good. Now just some cleaning and curing is missing. This looks radioactive. So cool. Okay, since two of the shoelaces that I printed didn't turn out perfectly, I decided to make my Holosom sandals. And for that printed my upscaled lila sci-fi sandals made by Blue Pixie Art. I painted them silver and already added some iridescent straps to the shoe here. I made them in a similar way to the sandals on my mermaid themed smart doll. Just instead of chains, I added iridescent straps. You might wonder why my hands are silver? That's because I might have tried to shake my silver paint while the lid wasn't completely closed. Yeah, smart, I know. Anyway, with the power of my uwu glue, I add strap by strap to the sandal until I completely built the sandal. On the back rings, I add a satin ribbon so I can easily lace the shoe on the back of the ankle. And with that, the sandals are done, and I really like the look of them. The colors look really nice with the rest of the outfit. Okay, let's make her one more thing, a belt. I cut out a stripe from a transparent iridescent vinyl and layer it with a thinner stripe on which I attach a ring and some double-faced tape on the back. I place it on the center of the stripe and then add 2 more rings to it. Now that the rings are attached, I can add some chains to them. That looks so cool! For some more shimmer, I added rhinestones as well. And here's the finished belt. I think it's a subtle but really pretty accessory and was easy and fast to make. It closes with a little velcro on the back that I attached with hot glue. Last minute I also made some stockings for my holo by simply sewing them from human tights. It really completes the look. First outfit done, let's make the second, shall we? I made some pattern pieces and cut them from my pink glitter fabric vinyl and will now iron them onto a bright pink fabric. This way I made myself a super duper pink glitter fabric that is just gorgeous. I then proceed to sew an underskirt from the pink fabric first by joining front and back pieces finished sides in. After that I will be gluing around the bottom seam allowance with some uhu glue. I also made these glitter fabric stripes that I will be gathering. This way I just made some glitter ruffles that I will now be sewing onto the skirt like this. I add multiple layers until pretty much the top of the skirt. This process was extremely finicky, but it looks super cute now, I think. Now I just need to add the waistband, finished sides in and close the back seam and add a closure. Last minute I also attached some chains to the skirt for some extra glamour. To make her a fitting bra top for the skirt, I ironed the pattern piece to the fabric as well and will now close the little darts first. I fold and hem them finished sides in. Then I wanted to glue around the seam allowances but ended up cutting them off because it looks much neater this way. Then I prepared some chain straps with tiny glitter fabric loops and glue them onto the highest point of the bra cups. With a little closure on the bra added, we have a super cute neck holder bra. I love how the chains are both functional and look like jewelry. Okay, I really wanted to give the I really wanted to give the second hollow a fuzzy fur jacket, so I cut out the pattern pieces from this green fur fabric and will first join the sleeves and the bodice. After that I end up with a green fur blob and sew together the sleeve and side seams. Turned inside out, it looks like this. To make it a bit prettier from the inside, I made this little sleeveless lining and will now sew it onto the jacket along the remaining open seams, finished sides in, and leave a small opening on the bottom for turning it inside out. And yeah, this jacket turned magically rainbow because I didn't really like the green jacket that much in the end and ended up making this jacket the same way, just from a rainbow fur fabric. So fluffy! This jacket just fits the overall aesthetic a lot better and I'm happy I decided to put in some extra time to make this jacket again. I low-key would like to have this rainbow fur jacket for myself please now. Let's make a second pair of shoes. I am in love with overknee boots, so why not give her some? I cut out the pattern pieces from the white velvet fabric and sew them together in the front and back seam, finished sides in, and clean up the upper seam allowance by gluing it around. This is how they looked turned inside out. Then I made some half cardboard soles and take my translucent platform soles. I put the fabric boot onto the leg of the doll and check if the piece fits over the sole part. I then glue the back of the fabric sole seam allowance onto the cardboard sole like this. I snipped in the seam allowance for the front part and will now put the sole onto the shoe and glue it in place like this. I cut off the extending seam allowance in the front of the shoe and will now cover up the seam line with a glitter fabric strap. I simply glue it on with my Uhu Alleskleber. And this is how the shoe looks afterwards. So pretty! Now for the last step, I cut some hearts and stars from iridescent self-adhesive vinyl and glue them onto the outside of the soles. After I did that on both soles, it's time to make them completely clear again. Oh, someone wanted to assist me with that it seems. For this step I simply use no wipe UV top coat and apply it all over the soles and cure them under the UV lamp for about 2 minutes. And with that we have some beautiful white velvet overknee boots with a clear platform sole. I really want to make more platform soles like this in the future, maybe even some that are filled with stuff. I'm absolutely living for this look. It's wig time, baby! For the first doll wig, my boyfriend was so sweet to make these wefts for me from a lilac jumbo braid so I could go right into the gluing process. I prepared the wig cap off cam and using my trusty hot glue gun, because I'm impatient, I start gluing the wig layer by layer. For this wig I pretty much just glue everything towards a middle part, so it's pretty easy and self-explanatory. Here I'm almost done and just glue the last strands to the wig before adding the parting wefts. To add them, I cut a slit into the wig cap where the part is and add some folded wefts to the part from the inside. With that, I thought the wig was done and perfect. However, last minute I made some hair buns by gluing wefts around some beads and glued them onto the wig later on. Wait for the finished look to see it all done. Time to make the second wig. I prepared some fluo green and purple yarn wefts for this one. For short-haired wigs, yarn is a bit easier to use. The combination of those two colors is also really pretty. I already added some purple wefts to the bottom of the wig, and in the front and on top we'll add the green wefts. I love the look of wigs that have another color on the bottom than on the top. The way the hair colors blend together just looks so nice in my opinion. I just add a bunch of fluo green wefts to the top part of the wig now until it's completely filled up. Last but not least, I just need to cut the bangs of the wig to the perfect length. I usually do that step by step not to accidentally cut them too short. And here's the finished look of the wig. I think it looks super good, especially with Hollow's deep skin tone. Okay, let's start with the face-ups. I wanted to give both Hollows a unique graphic eyeliner look, and for that made some mock-ups on my iPad first. For Rosie's Hollow, I start by dusting on some micro glitter to give the skin a beautiful glow after spraying her with matte sealant first. Then, using pastel dust from my Mungyo hand-rolled soft pastels, I start blushing the cheeks with some light pinks. I also apply some pinks to the ears. I always like the look of rosy ears a lot. On her lips, I took a little bit of a deeper pink and carefully blushed them to give them a natural look. Here you can see that I already sketched out the black liner with some pencils and added a hint of green eyeshadow with some green pastels. Now I am using my matte black acrylic paint and fill in the eyeliner to make it sharp and saturated in color. I like to turn the head upside down for harder to reach angles. Time for the pink graphic liner. I practiced on the right side already and will now sketch the liner onto the left side of the face. I first sketch the lines with a pencil, and when I'm satisfied, I go in with my nail art brush and a bright pink acrylic paint. It's a time-consuming process, but so worth it for the result. I also sketch out her eyebrows with a brown pencil after marking them with some pastel dust first. In the end, I like to go over them with a little bit of pastel dust again to make them look softer and less harsh. And now it's time for lower lashes. I'm using some dark brown gouache paint and a tiny brush to paint those soft lashes on. There is not much magic here, it's just a lot of practice to paint the lower lashes. And after the lashes are done, I apply a little bit of dark pastel dust to the inside of the eye. This blends the lashes perfectly into the face up. Before sealing one last time, it's time for pearly shimmers. I just dust them on with my soft brushes. And hey, let's give her a little nose highlight too. Time for one of my favorite parts, gloss! I love applying the gloss to the lips and waterline of the eyes. It kind of really breathes life into the doll's face. Okay, let's also paint the second face. For this one, I got some inspiration from Mimodel on Instagram. She sometimes makes gradient graphic liner, and I wanted to try that on one of my dolls. I also first apply some shimmers to Hollow's face and then start blushing her cheeks and ears with some pink pastels. For her lips, I'm using a bit more of a reddish brown because I really like that look. Then I'm also sketching out her black initial eyeliner first and fill it in. You can see I sketched out one eye with pencil already and will now fill in the second eye with paint. I apply the pink first and then the purple for the outer part of the liner and blend both colors together while they're still wet with some water. My camera really struggled to focus on the eyebrow sketching and the lash part here. I guess it was too distracted by me still weren't unable to get all of the silver paint off. Here you can see the lashes a bit better though, as I am applying some pearly shimmers onto her face as well. And last but not least, some gloss can't be missing. Ah yeah, and I almost forgot to glue lashes. All those anime face-ups recently made me almost forget about them. I use my PVA glue to glue them in place. Since the video is already super long, I just show you the eyes that I made off cam. I just used my UV resin, my eye mold and some paint, glitter and sparkles to make them. And here are both faces with the eyes inserted. I can't wait to see both of them together. And yeah, we did it! 2 dolls in one video! Are you ready for the big finale? They are both all done. I'm so happy that I managed to make them both for this video. It was a lot of work, actually like double the work, but I think it was worth it. If you like this doll, the Hollow pre-order is still open until the 30th of June. All infos and links are in the description box below. I hope that Rosie will love her customized Hollow. I'm gonna send the doll to her right away. And thank you also again to all of my patrons. You guys helped me so much and I'm incredibly thankful for your help. It really means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video and happy Pride. Bye!